Mm. Um, Welcome to our second Mammoth Strength Club YouTube video. Today, we've got both of us today, and we're going to be discussing the men's deadlift world record and all the different variations on that. Obviously, as strength sport is a bit kind of all over the place, I suppose is a nice way to put it. It's not like the 100-meter sprint at the Olympics, so there's all sorts of different people kind of claiming world records in the deadlift. And as we'll get to at the end, there's some animosity between some of the lifters as well. So, yeah, obviously don't forget to like and subscribe, join the herd. As you can see, we're both wearing our Mammoth Strength Club merch. Always repping.
Always.
Yeah, so without further ado, may as well get into it. So first one I've got on my list for you, Ben, is Benedict Magnusson. So any opening comments, or do you want me to just play?
I think it's play. We can discuss after the video.
So you can see him here. He's obviously, I think one of the things I like about this is how amped up he gets. And then after he's done it,
putting his sleeves like to make them bigger and stuff.
His weirdly long arms.
Yeah. Just goes up so easily.
It goes up so easily, and then
puts
it down like it doesn't weigh anything. But I'd love to know what he's saying.
Yeah.
Who's he speaking to?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously the thing with this one is just how he kind of casually walks up to it. He obviously doesn't have straps at all. He's wearing a suit, I believe, and obviously a belt. But just the grip strength to hold on to. So this is 1,015 pounds, which is 460.4 kilograms, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is to be believed, but apparently he didn't really train for this.
I mean, like in terms of the actual trainings, it will be part of his rotation surely anyway. So they might not be training specifically for this. Like he'll still be deadlifting a lot and heavy anyway.
You would think. I mean, his strongman career was mostly famous for the deadlift. I don't know off the top of my head if he ever got to world's strongest man, but he definitely. I've seen him do full shows.
Was going there, but when it was in Botswana, then he was hospitalised, I think.
Oh really? Why?
Yeah, I think he got bitten by a bug and it got infected.
Oh right.
I think it was him.
Okay, I mean, it could be. I mean, yeah, like I said, I'm not sure if I feel like I might have seen him in the Botswana t-shirt. Actually, no, you say that, but I've seen him. He did those Giants live shows that were like outside in Leeds or somewhere when him and Eddie Hall were like the two best. So he has done them, but yeah, it's just it's the way he puts it down, like it doesn't weigh anything.
Yeah, slow. Like as you're saying, the grip strength, he holds it for so long at the top as well.
Yeah, this one's nuts. I mean, I'd put this one first, but I'd have to say this is one of my favourites, just because of the way he does it. I think it's just so.
Yeah.
It's
casual. It's very casual.
Yeah, it is. It is like he, and he walks up to the bar like a gorilla, but then just like just one more time and then we can move on.
It's the way you is, it's quite like you say quite a gentle and soft deadlift.
Yeah, and then obviously, I mean, this guy that walks in front of it is quite annoying.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously at the Ronnie Coleman Classic. That it's legit as well. So it's a very strong, very legit deadlift in my eyes.
Exactly, it is what it says it is. So the next one I've got on my list is much more recent. This is from March this year, 2022. Yeah. I think officially this has taken the record off of Magnusson that stood for 11 years. So it's 5 kilograms heavier. But as you can see, I'll just play it. It's obviously sumo.
Yeah.
Which is, in powerlifting, that's fine. The Magnusson lift was in powerlifting. hook grip.
This must be killer on the thumbs.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, it's although it's clearly like a powerlifting legit lift, it's almost less impressive than Benedict's because of the range of movement is so much less. And like as you said, Magnuson drops it down very slowly. It's very controlled, whereas if he does, within the like legal kind of rules of powerlifting, just let it drop down. It obviously still has hold of the bar, but it's still not as controlled and going down, and the range of movement is not nearly as big. But
no.
given the size difference between the two guys as well, it's an insane lift.
It is. I've just gone back to see he's using a mixed grip, which is what most powerlifters do. I would say.
Yeah, arguably easier. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like hook grip, I think you potentially you can hold on to more. Like you said, it destroys your hands, but he is. There's no trickery there. He is holding that bar.
Yeah, he's holding, and his grip isn't even slipping. Like
no.
You can see maybe in that Magnuson still, maybe his underhand looks like it might overhand might be looking maybe very slightly at its opening slightly, but you can see the underhand. That's a very strong grip on the left.
Yeah, it's mental.
Briefly again, like his grip is strong there. It's not like it's at the fingers, but it still is maybe slipping slightly. But I mean, he's holding 465 kilograms, and that's probably fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, how heavy was he when you did this? 125?
100. He was under, he's 125 kilograms, I think.
Yeah, which, like you said, I mean, I imagine Magnuson's up in the 150s or something.
Yeah.
So,
like for me, obviously, powerlifting background, that is, it's a legit lift. It's powerlifting legal. Obviously, not in strongman because of the sumo, but it's different. It's different variation of the sport. So
it's a different sport, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, this is nuts. The next one I've got on here, so a little bit older. Again, this is obviously powerlifting. I don't know what is going on with this video, but I think they've made it look like he's in heaven or something when he's lifting it. But this is Andy Bolton. This lift took me a while to find the year, but it's 2009. I'll just play it. So
I see what you mean. I'm like blurred as edges.
Yeah. Again, mixed grip.
Conventional as well.
Yeah.
Just easy. It just goes off easy. Like, it slows down towards the end, but it's still just an easy lift.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing with a lot of these. You just think, I don't know, I guess with some of these guys, they're just so in the zone that and they're so strong that it's almost like whatever you put on the bar that day, because they were just on it, they would have picked it up. I just noticed.
It looks like he's got like tissue off his
nose. I was just going to say, it looks like perhaps on his warm-ups or his second attempt or something, his nose burst. So
yeah,
preemptively.
Maybe that's why he's not wearing a t-shirt as well.
Yeah, he had a white
too covered in blood.
But yeah, this one is 457.5 kilos back in 2009. So I think out of all the ones on this list, Magnuson's was 2011, but other than that, most of them are in the past couple of years. So it goes to show you how far ahead of most other people he was at this point.
Yeah, it looks like he's got, as you said, more in the tank as well. It would have been interesting to see if he'd gone up and attempted maybe the 460. Judging by that, he surely would have got it.
Yeah.
I think again, it's kind of grip strong.
Yeah, just really. I think it's kind of. It seems like human nature that you almost, because that would have been above the world record at the time. You kind of do the world record. It doesn't matter what you're sort of capable of. So, yeah, I mean, if he was a bit younger and was, because he's in his 50s, I think now, isn't he?
Yeah.
If he was 30, you would think that he might be well into the up by the 500s at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll play it again because it's.
Yeah, I mean this is such a good lift. Like legal in obviously strongman and equipped powerlifting. He doesn't hitch.
No.
He can just tug out at the end.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. He doesn't hitch it, does he? In powerlifting, you're obviously not allowed to hitch.
Yeah, so I mean that would have been legal in equipped powerlifting, wouldn't it, as well?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the main difference really is the straps, isn't it?
Yeah. Looking back at Grigsby again, he's clearly much heavier than Grigsby as well.
Oh yeah, again, I reckon he's probably 150 kilos because I think he's about 6 foot tall. He's just the size of his calves.
Yeah, his leg is just huge.
His calf is bigger than my thigh.
Yeah.
Nuts. So next one we've got. So again, this one's pretty recent. This was April this year. Christoph Wisbiski is how you say it, I think. Is that right?
I think so. Wisbiski.
Yeah. So this one, I put it in, but I don't think, unless you correct me, is this not in competition?
No, this is in the gym.
Right.
The gym. So again, it's not weighed and calibrate, like they're calibrated plates, but it's not weighed, so it's potential. There is the potential that it's not what it is. But I think it would take someone quite a harsh judge to say, oh no, it's not weighed. It's not what it is.
Yeah, it's not legit.
Yeah, it's so strong. Given that he is, I think I read that he's under 105 kilograms in this.
Yeah,
and he's lifting
crazy.
502.5. Again, sumo with straps, so kind of, not legal in either strongman or powerlifting, but it's because he's not in a strongman or powerlifting comp. Like, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's for me a legit world record because
even if it's not in competition, you don't care. It's big.
Well, it's tough, isn't it? Because it's not like I don't care, but like if I was him and I'd lifted that, I would consider myself to be the strongest deadlifter in the world. But then, yeah, as you said, it's not in competition. It's not with weights that have been weighed, so it's not going to be viewed as a legitimate world record. But it's just a mental lift.
I wonder if he plans to do a powerlifting. I guess he'd do a powerlifting meet because I don't know what you can do conventional. But if his grip holds out.
Yeah, well, his grip there, obviously it's double overhand, but it's not. It is giving out there. You can see, like, he's using the straps a lot.
Yeah,
he's using the straps a lot. So you've got to wonder how much you take off going without straps.
Isn't that Jamal Browner's problem when he's deadlifting like up in the 400s? It's his grip that starts giving out on him rather than his legs or back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but so if he weighs 17 stone, 100 and something kilos, this is like nearly a 5 times body weight deadlift.
Yeah. I know that Eddie Hall has commented on it as well. Actually, he said, it is a very impressive list, and he
did. Do you think that was just? We'll get to this later, but do you think that was just throwing shade at Thor?
Yeah, I think there's probably an element of that. Yeah. Yeah, it's a ridiculous list. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. That is ridiculous. So next one we've got, speaking of Thor, is his elephant bar deadlift world record at the Arnold Classic in 2018, which was a full competition, not just a deadlift thing. He went on to win the whole competition. You can see Brian Shaw in the background, who I think came second. So this is 474.
So easy.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous how easy that goes up.
Yeah. I mean, and that would have... So this is obviously an elephant bar. How long are they? Are they 9 feet long instead of 7?
I'm not sure. I mean, it looks more like around 9.
Yeah. But people argue about whether it's harder or easier, but I think a fair assessment is that it's probably easier off the ground because you get more flex. The weight isn't dead; it doesn't leave the ground all at the same time. But it's probably harder at the top to lock it out because of the whip.
Yeah. It feel a bit more unstable at the top because look how wide the weights are.
Yeah.
The plates. I think, again, an absolutely mental lift and easy for him. But the fact that, the event is called the Elephant Bar Deadlift, it's kind of not comparable to Magnuson's, to, Rosicki's, to Bolt. It's still ridiculously good, but it's less comparable than the others because, I've never lifted an elephant bar. I don't know the difference. But if you can't...
I wonder, say, if you're, for example, your PB is 200 on a standard powerlifting bar, if you got on an elephant bar, would that feel fine or would it be harder? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like in that scenario, if you could do 230 on an elephant bar, but you can't do it on a standard bar. Realistically, can you lift that? Like, because in a comp where it's a standard deadlift, you wouldn't lift it. So it's definitely still very, very impressive, and
you would have to count it as a separate record, though, wouldn't you? Really?
Yeah, it is incredible, but it's it's just a different event.
Yeah. Side note, those plates are amazing, aren't they? Have you seen them? They've got Arnold on them. And you can't buy them.
Yeah, they are. They're incredible.
I was like, I wonder how much they cost, but they don't sell them.
It's a shame.
Yeah, they do look really cool.
Yeah, they're very cool.
That's nuts. Okay, next one we have. So a bit different again. We're just talking about how, I guess, they're different lifts. And can you compare the two? This one, silver dollar deadlift, 18 inches instead of 9. So this is Alexei Novikov at the 2020 World's Strongest Man, which obviously again is a full competition, which he went on to win. Was this event 2 or 3? It was nearish the beginning, I think.
Yeah, it was near the beginning.
Yeah. He looks surprised.
Yeah. I mean, it's still, all of these lifts are ridiculous, and that just looks obscene. But the range of motion in there compared to the one we just watched, it's so far less that, again, this is not comparable at all.
No.
For me. Like, it's still mental, and it's an insane amount of weight, but it's a completely different event ultimately, because it's a partial.
You can see when the weight starts to leave the ground, it's already actually like at his knee. Because how tall is he? 6 foot.
He's definitely one of the shortest strongmen. So like, him compared to say Brian Shaw, he's what, 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah.
Realistically, the shorter you are, you've got to move it less. So especially with 18 inches, that's when it's starting to get down. But
that's when it goes as well, isn't it?
Logistically, nearly stood up anyway. So although it's still incredibly impressive, it's just not comparable.
No, it's a different lift again, which is, I mean, in the same ballpark, we've got this guy, Anthony Pernice, from a couple of years ago, 550. So, I didn't say Novikov's was, how much was it?
537.
This guy's lifting 13 kilos more. A guy I, to be honest, have never heard of.
Yeah, I'd never heard of him, actually, to be fair.
No, at a competition I've never heard of. So, I mean, how legit. I mean, like you said, you can't really take it away from someone if you don't know, but it's not World's Strongest Man.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's because, I mean, I've not heard of the competition or where he is. It's, you can't say like, because it's not a competition that I know, it's not legit, because you're kind of doing a disservice to them and to the event organisers. But still, it's, again, you start a lot higher. I like the way that he kind of runs up to the bar.
He looks a similar height. Yeah, he does the Magnuson. He looks a similar sort of height, actually, doesn't he, to Novikov? Like, it's at his knee when it starts.
It's like they move a similar amount in terms of distance. They move very similar amounts, but again, it's ridiculous. I've never done silver dollar, and
No.
it looks very strange. It looks like it's definitely something that would take a bit of getting used to.
I've done block. I don't know how high they were, but I've done block pulls from below the knee, and it is.
Yeah.
I find it easier because you just kind of have to lock it out rather than a lot of people struggle off the ground, don't they? So if you can get it to your knee, chances are you can get it locked out. So yeah, I mean, obviously this guy can't deadlift 550 from 9 inches, otherwise we'd know who he was.
It's a ridiculous amount of weight still. But again, I guess it kind of, as you said, if he was doing that from the floor, everyone would know who he is.
Yeah.
When that video of Wierzbicki doing his deadlift came out, it was, it went viral very, very quickly. And, as you said, Eddie Hall commented on it, might be because of its kind of relations with Thor, but still having one of the, biggest names in the strongman game comment on it is still very, it's very impressive.
Yeah, got noticed. Like this one, for some reason, just didn't get as much traction as far as I know. I mean,
like in this video, I mean, I don't know who did this video, but it's comparably 3,000. It was barbend as well.
Barbend, yeah, but I mean, they report on, they're all over everything, aren't they? Not just the famous lifts.
Yeah.
This one again, I mean, it's probably in a category all of its own at the Shore Classic.
Looks ridiculous.
Yeah. I'd love to do this, even though I can probably only lift one tyre each side.
Yeah.
But 4 tyres a side. Brian Shaw took this event from the Arnold Classic. And I think he had his own made because he's such a meticulous guy. He actually had his own Hummer tyre deadlift setup made so that he could perform better at the the Arnold Classic. So then when he started his own competition, they used it there. Caron obviously winning that event.
It reminds you kind of the elephant bar where you said once you start the lift it's easier, and then when JF starts the lift it looks easier, and then it gets progressively harder as more and more tires come off the floor. Yeah. Obviously hitching it up, but still that's legit in a strongman. But again, it is a completely different exercise. But it's not a completely different exercise, but it is a different event.
It's about lockout power. Like again, the bar bends so much that by the time all 4 tires leave the ground, it's actually over his knee.
Yeah, and I mean you're starting so much higher. It's arguably might not be as kind of jarring as using metal plates, but again, I've never lifted tires, so I don't want to be like, oh, it's far easier, because it's clearly an insane amount of weight and it's far stronger than I will ever be. So yeah, it's still insanely impressive.
I think
but
from listening to Brian Shaw, he has to get used to lifting on this again every year because they're rubber. They almost snag the ground and it can throw you off as they come up. So like metal plates, obviously there is friction, but rubber's obviously got a lot more friction. So it's a different beast.
It is, yeah. I think again, not, although very impressive, just not as comparable to what you would consider to be your traditional deadlift world record. I think you can't classify that as a just straight deadlift world record. No. But again, if you were saying Hummer tyre deadlift world record, fair enough.
Yeah. What's Caron's conventional personal best? Is it? It's not £1,000, is it? I don't think he's in that club.
No.
It'd be over 400, I would have thought. But I mean, So if you think about it, this
just looked on Wikipedia. JF Caron's elephant bar deadlift record is 463, and he's done 400 for reps. So as you said, it could be that this tyre is 100 kg or close to more than what conventional is.
I mean, he is a really good deadlifter. When you look at results at World's Strongest Man and stuff like that, he's always there and thereabouts, isn't he, for the past sort of 10 years or so. Obviously,
insanely strong guy.
Injured now. I don't know if he'll make a comeback. Probably not.
Yeah, I'd love to see him make a comeback, but it's. I think he even said himself that it's not looking likely.
He's 40, isn't he, as well?
Yeah, he is. He's definitely older as a competitor to go, but
old.
He's not old, but yeah, older for a strongman compared to. Although you look at Mark Felix.
Yeah, I mean, compared to something like football or something, you can go older. But I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
coming back from an injury, regardless of who you are or what you do, is harder as you get older, isn't it?
Yeah, especially when you're shifting these sorts of weight and eating
Yeah.
the diet that these people have to eat. It's just...
Yeah, I mean, he has no right to lift that at any age.
Yeah, sickening strength.
Exactly. Cool. So
Yeah.
the next one. So I threw this one in, a bit of a curveball. Obviously, the numbers seem a lot lower in comparison to some of these others that are around the 500s. This one's below 400. It's the only one on this list below 400, but it's IPF. And the reason I put it in is because you'd have to assume he's drug tested when the others aren't. So yeah, Ray Williams, so 398.5.
You look at his weight as well, just under 190 kilograms. That is enormous.
Yeah, I mean the bar actually looks small. I don't know how tall he is, but it
looks like it's like a 5 foot bar.
looks like a toy. How wide his grip is as well, which is interesting because like most people, their hands are really close to their legs, but he's got a gap either side.
That off the floor power is just mental.
Yeah,
It starts so quickly.
it does. Where is it? Again, like mixed grip. He's got all the chalk in the world on his hands and up his wrists.
Talc on the legs.
Just in case his wrists come into play.
Yeah.
This is nuts. This guy, he's like more known for his squatting, isn't he? Like he squats. I think he squatted over 500, but
Yeah.
it seems like in more traditional powerlifting, the squat numbers are actually higher, probably because you'd have to think the grip. Don't know.
I mean, I guess you can see from this deadlift, like it's very understandable how big his squat is because of how fast it is off the floor. When he's using a lot more leg power.
Yeah, it does slow down at just over his knee, doesn't it? I mean,
It's still just so quick.
Yeah, it doesn't look hard really at any point. The hardest bit seems to be when he's putting it back down. He puts it back down very deliberately.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you drop it, you get it taken off you. Don't
Yeah, exactly. He wants to make sure that his hands are on the bar for the entirety of the lift. Yeah, it's still, as you say, because it's tested and in comps. So he's already, a lot of these were done in comps. So they're arguably already like tired from other lifts. But it's very impressive.
He would have benched and squatted before this.
Squatted, yeah. And if his squat is bigger than his deadlift, then legs are already very, very taxed from that.
Yeah, that's crazy. What year was this? This was 2018. He's a huge man. This is the size of his legs.
Yeah, he is huge. Wonder what size singlet he wears.
Yeah. What do they go up to in SBD? Is it 5XL?
Luckily, I've never had to go look at the max size.
So I'm about 95 kilos, just over 6 foot tall, and I'm an XL. So I would think this guy is multiple X's on his, nuts. Gets the white lights.
Yeah, mental.
It's mental. So, kind of most famous till last, you'd have to say, is these two. This one is probably, I mean, I'm sure everyone watching this video has seen this so many times. Eddie Hall's 500 kilo deadlift in 2016. What was, I think the world record before this, which was also him, was 464.
Yeah, I was going to say in the little comment on this video, it's the caption, it says smashes previous world record 465. So he beat you by 35 kilograms.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is ridiculous.
And I mean, there's not much more that can be said that hasn't already been said about this, mostly by Eddie Hall himself, like the amount he's talked it up. I mean, if I'd done this, I'm sure I'd never shut up about it either.
Probably fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, but he's compared himself to like Roger Bannister breaking the 4-minute mark on the mile and stuff. Yeah, and in a way, like I was saying earlier, Andy Bolton was breaking the 1,000-pound barrier because no one had done that before. It's kind of similar in a lot of ways, isn't it? Oh, I've just ruined that.
Breaking the 1,100 and
just that 500 kilogram.
Yeah, it's such a big number. 500, half a ton.
When it's so much, like we just said, 35 kilos higher than the previous one. That's quite a statement. Which is why some people, including Eddie, have taken issue with Thor's ones because he only did it by 1 kilo. But that's how weight works, isn't it?
It's like you said before. You go to beat it. It's not. Thor wasn't setting out to see what he could do. He wanted to beat it, and arguably, obviously see the video in a minute, but 501 is, as you say, it's higher than 500. So he could have done 500 and a half.
Yeah. I mean, my other video I did about Giants Live's World Deadlift Championship. That they've set it at. This video is annoying. It's got a little thumbnail over the. They've set it at 505 to sort of avoid any of these other arguments, I think. But they could have set it at 502. It's gotten quite political, really. This lift because of this. Up to this point, people were just lifting weight, but now it's sort of become more of a thing. So you saw he collapsed at the end. I got a quote. It says, Eddie said, "I was staring at the ceiling afterwards and I thought, this is where I'm going to die." And then I think something quite revealing about, I think he describes himself as a narcissist, but the next bit he says, "This is where Eddie Hall dies." Third person, referring to himself in the third person.
Yeah. I remember reading something. He said that his meal, I don't know if it was the meal directly before the lift, but whether he had just the fat off of a gammon joint. It was like 900 calories just worth of fat. And he said it was absolutely disgusting, but to get the calories in, he said it was,
right.
You could have had that. Absolutely rancid.
Yeah, I've not heard that before. You've told me something new about this lift that I've seen a million times.
I'm pretty sure it was this lift. I remember I read one of his books, and I was like, I remember reading it and just being absolutely disgusted about.
Yeah. I mean, it is a big leap forward, and you have to give it to him.
It's totally legit.
No matter what sort of happened since, it is a big lift, and I guess you have to have a lot of self-belief to get anywhere close to doing this. I mean, the thing, like you were just saying, things he had to eat for years to even get as big as this in the first place. It's quite a commitment.
Yeah. I mean, you can't. There's no point in the video in the lift that you can say, "Oh, it's not a legit lift." It is a 100% legit lift, and fair enough. He got it. His first man to lift 500, and it's an absolutely unreal achievement.
You get a lot of imitators now as well doing this bar roll thing.
Yeah. He starts so low in the deadlift as well. Obviously, his hips do kind of shoot up as he starts it, but it probably sits back down into it.
I think he said before that he changed his technique and did that on purpose because he was so good in the leg press.
Yeah,
so he made
he's trying to leg press it as much as he can.
Yeah, exactly. He made it a leg press. I mean, obviously, I think this was at Europe. Was this at Europe's Strongest Man that Laurent Charlet won the same year? And obviously, he had to pull out because right. Yeah, like I said, everyone's seen that one. Everyone's also probably seen this one a million times. Here we go. 501 for Thor. 2 years ago. It doesn't feel like 2 years ago. I remember texting you when this was happening because nothing else was going on in the whole world.
In lockdown.
Yeah. Again, look how big he is in the.
Yeah, all the talc on his legs as well.
Yeah. No socks, no shoes. He rolls it as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
It can break that inertia. I don't do it personally because it's hard to get the bar in exactly the same place every single time.
Yeah,
but
I like to start in the same position.
Yeah, if you can do it, then why not? You forget how
So
big
big.
he was. Well, yeah, like he's obviously still big now, but he was freakishly big. Yeah, I mean,
It's a ridiculous thing.
it is, yeah.
And he said, like, Eddie's big gripe is that although they weigh all the plates, they said it was Thor's granddad who was
His
entirely
dad,
weighing them.
yeah,
Or his dad.
yeah,
But
he
like,
got all his friends there.
it's still, for me, it's legit. Like, they weighed the plates beforehand.
I think it's
it was a
legit
big
as well.
event. It's not like he did it,
No,
on a Monday night just in his gym. Was like, oh, record me do that. It was hyped up. He weighed all the plates. It is,
that's
for me,
Magnus.
completely legit.
Magnus for Magnuson there in the bottom left.
Yeah.
Did he referee Eddie's lift as well? But I mean, he referees
No,
World's
it was
Strongest Man.
Colin Bryce.
Was it? Yeah, but I mean, Magnus for Magnuson referees World's Strongest Man, Giants Live. Like he's arguably the top referee in strongman.
I mean, I think it was Colin Bryce. You see Colin Bryce in the Eddie Hall
He
video.
did
I'm
pop
pretty
up
sure
at
it's
the
Colin
end.
Bryce too. But yeah, as you said, he's arguably the best known and best strongman
Yeah,
referee in the world. So
although they're both Icelandic, you weren't allowed to travel at the time. I don't think they actually get on that well, so it's not like he would have just done him a favour and given it to him if it wasn't legitimate. Like, I don't think you can argue that it's not. Like, I guess you can say he could take his own time and stuff, but the big thing for me that makes this as legit a record as anything else is that Eddie Hall doesn't gripe about like Tom Stoltman's Atlas Stone over hitching. You know that Tom Stoltman lifted, was it 286?
Yeah.
You know, that was in the same Wuss Record Breakers series, and he doesn't hold that one against him. I think this is just because he didn't like Thor, and this was his record.
yeah, just because of Eddie and Thor's thought relations.
Yeah. Obviously, this as well is where he called him out for the boxing match.
Yeah.
Which I genuinely didn't see coming and thought was surprising.
Yeah, very strange. Very strange.
Quite weird to look back at this. But yeah, so,
Yeah.
I mean, out of all of these, which would you say, if someone said to you, what's the deadlift world record, which one would you say? That one, go and watch that one.
For me, it's this video. It's Hafthor Bjornsson. You know, he, although with Vicky, as you said earlier, he in the video looks like he's lifted more. It's, as you said, it's in a gym. It's not in a place where the weights are all weighed before the lift and are like, refereed by Magnus and things like that. So it's not as legit. Although, like, that is, as I said before, I think, that's that is the world record. It's not like the legit world record. I think there's a difference to me saying, I think that's the world record lift and it being a legit world record. So if you want the actual world record deadlift, it's this one because again, it's not comparable to a silver dollar lift. It's higher than Eddie's. It's as legit as they could have made it during lockdown as well. Eddie can have gripes about it being, Hafthor's dad who weighed the plates, but ultimately there was enough people there to know that it was, that the weights were what they said. It's not like it's just him and his dad doing it.
Yeah. I think this one here, hyping him up, is Stefan Solvi Pettersson, is it? He's been at World's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
Obviously they're all helping him out, but like you said, he's not like, who's that? Is it Brad Castleberry, the famous guy that pretends he's really
fake
strong?
weights.
Yeah, they're not made of the first 6. I mean, how many red plates are there? I don't even know. But they're not made of styrofoam, are they?
Yeah. It's, you got to say in this video as well, it looked like if he'd gone 505, you'd argue that he'd get it as well. Because it's not like he's jerking it up and then...
I've got a quote from him as well, which... Again, I think this says something about him and his relationship with this lift and Eddie. He said, "I believe I could have done more, but what's the point?" Which kind of shits on his own achievement there, his own sport. Like, what's the point of any of it? Like, you're trying to lift as much as possible. I think he did lift 1 kilo more on this lift on purpose.
Yeah, he wanted to beat him
He did.
marginally and say, like, I am better than you.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you think this is the legit world record as well, rather than Wisbicki?
Me, yeah, I would. If you ask me, I would say this one, and I think in second I'd put Benedict Magnusson's. Even though technically Danny Grigsby has beaten that, I don't know. It's something about that Benedict Magnusson one's going to stay with me for some reason. I don't know what it is. It's the way
Do you
he
mean
does it.
after Eddie as well?
Well, yeah. Eddie's was the world record. This is now the world record.
Yeah.
I'd say this is the strongman world record, and Magnusson's is the powerlifting world record. I think is what I would say.
Yeah.
If you,
I was really interested to see Wisbicki do a powerlifting comp and see what you put in that. That would be very interesting, because then it's although he would pull sumo and Magnusson pull convention, it would be a lot more comparable because he would have been pre-taxed from doing the squat on the bench.
I think Magnusson's was a deadlift only. He just did deadlift. Yeah, that throws a bit. This is what I mean. This is why we made this video. Like, none of this is. It's not the 100 meters at the Olympics, is it? There's not 2 or 3 qualifying rounds. Everyone's running 100 meters. Don't they even deduct like tailwind and shit? Like, it's not. It's strongman. Powerlifting more so, but strongman definitely isn't at a point where, and that's part of the charm. Like, it's not a standardized sport.
Yeah, it's cool how you can do deadlifts of like lifting tires, or do it on an elephant bar, or lift silver dollars. But yeah, I think it's harsh to say to Wisbicki, like, oh no, it doesn't count at all. Like, I'm not even going to acknowledge it, because realistically, if he's done that, then he deserves the acknowledgement. But because like you said earlier, do I care that it's obviously not in comp? Yes, I do care it's not in comp, because realistically, there is a chance it's not what he said it is, but it still deserves the acknowledgement that if it is, it's absolutely mental.
Would you say then that's the unofficial world record? Would you give him that, or would you just say, nah, do it in a competition?
I think I'll probably brand it as the unofficial, because that's the whole point. It's unofficial, so no one is, like you said with that guy Brad Castleberry. It was kind of a known thing that he uses fake weights. No one said that about Wisbicki. Like, no one said,
no.
"Oh, you're well known for using fake weights." Like, that doesn't look like what you say it is, or anything like that. It's for me an unofficial, but again, not legit.
No. Just have to go back to this guy. Watch this one more time. He is literally like a gorilla.
He's like a caged animal, isn't he?
Yeah. He's quite an intense guy. Have you seen that clip of him? I've forgotten her name. The Giants Live presenter. She's trying to interview him, and he just sort of walks away and pretends he hasn't heard her.
Yeah, I think she asked him how it felt, and he said something like, "What did you say?" Or "What are you saying?" And then walked away.
Yeah, he's like, "What?" And then he just walks off.
Yeah. I think on his Instagram he talks about himself in the third person as well.
Does he?
Yeah, and Benny says this is Benny's favourite lift, favourite exercise and things.
Yeah, I mean, to do this to yourself, all of these people, you're going to be a bit quirky.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't...
the way he pulls his shirt forward.
For the faint heart. No. Right. Okay. Well, yeah, that's been our second YouTube video. I've got nothing else to add unless you have.
No, all ridiculous lifts.
All ridiculous lifts.
Like, stupidly strong people.
Stupidly strong. Do you think we'll see someone beat all of these at Cardiff?
I would like to, obviously, because kind of history in the making. But I think, like, gut feeling that Makarov could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he looks ridiculous in training, and I think he could. For me, he's the most likely.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, Hooper's a bit of a wild card because I don't think even he knows really what he can do. But I don't know
Yeah.
if it's a year or two too early for him. I don't know. But like you said, if I was going to have to put money on one of them, it would probably be Makarov.
Yeah.
But then, like, he's not, he's not in the main circuit, if you know what I mean. So for all we
Yeah.
know, he's carrying an injury and he does really badly. Like, you don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah. I guess like even with Zwitski's lifts, with some gym lifts, you might have to take some bits with a pinch of salt because you don't know what they've done prior to that, whether they're, what has happened in the lead up and things like that, and what the conditions are.
Yeah.
I mean, looking how much the bar bends there as well is a pretty good giveaway.
Yeah, I mean, well, and the fact that it might not be that legit of a bar. It could be too bendy.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, you don't know. Cool. All right. Well, yeah. Like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Join the herd.
Join the herd.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.